Yo, welcome to my greenhouse studio setup. Let's get
like
it.
the letter, I'm making several waves. I know the mission is same. I made a splash, now all of my passes last like running a race with Usain. I keep it coming like this is buffet. And if I'm stumbling, I'm in the grave. Never gon' fumble it. I get the bag and I run with it. Gunning it, gunning it, gunning it, gunning it. Worry with the legs, all about finesse.
What's up, y'all? It's Tight Shirt Terry Wolf, and I'm back for another video. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Remember to be thankful for your freaking life today, because you didn't have to have that. You know what? Before I get to talking, I should probably get a tripod because I got to talk a lot. All right, on a tripod. Matter of fact, come here real quick. So, two things I want to say real quick. A, I suck at DIY, okay? If y'all would have seen this room before I got a hold of it, first of all, it was terrible. Second of all, I tore this room up. You hear me? There are holes all over the place that you can't see because, you know, I covered them up, and this whole process was a learning experience. I think it came out pretty dope, but, you know, you will see that there's some small errors and mess ups along the way. We still learning, okay? The second thing I want to say is, unfortunately, life does throw curveballs, so my living situation did change. And because of that, I'm not in a house anymore. I'm in an apartment, which only has 2 bedrooms. Now, I could have went for something bigger, but honestly, I didn't feel like paying, you know, $1 million a month. I wanted to stay within something I was comfortable. So I have 2 bedrooms, and this is one of them, and the other one is for my girls. Now, the challenge is, how do you make a functional YouTube space where you're comfortable filming at two different angles in a small room that you also got to freaking sleep in? Like, how do you bring this all together? And that was the biggest challenge. So let's get on with the freaking greenhouse desk. That's what we call it, the greenhouse desk setup. Let's go. Now, real quick, I want to come in here and show you how the walls look. So because this is an apartment, of course, they didn't want me painting anything. We'll talk about that in one second, but this is how the walls look, okay? It's freaking Manila. The floor is new carpet, so it's gray carpet, and the baseboards are like this rustic brown, like terrible color scheme, right? So the challenge was how to make something out of this. Now, initially, I was like, you know what? I don't know if I want to put a studio setup in my room, you know what I'm saying? Like, so maybe we'll just sacrifice the dining area and we'll use tray tables, as you see over there. And I'm sorry, my apartment is all dirty right now. I got tray tables over there, okay? Well, yeah, that didn't work out. So we was eating off of tray tables, spilling stuff all over the place. And I was like, yeah, this is not going to work. So I scratched the whole setup over there. I still got stuff over there. As you see, there's also a cheap standing desk over there. And I'm going to get to that in a moment. But like, the challenge was, how do you make this work? So I was like, you know what, man, I got to do it in the room. Now, I went and asked the leasing office, like, can I paint? And it was like, nah, bro, you can't paint. And I'm like, I can't paint like one wall. And they was like, okay, Terry, you can paint one wall. So I initially just painted the wall that has the desk up against it, right? But then half the room was painted. Well, not even half, like maybe like a third of the room was painted. And the other half was just Manila, brown, and gray. And I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. And I was like, you know what? Forget it. I ain't gonna get my security deposit back anyways, because I jacked the paint up all over the roof. So I'm gonna just paint the whole room. So that's how we ended up with the whole room painted. Now we can go back in there. So when I was trying to come up with an idea for this desk, I didn't know what to do with it. I was like, do I want to go gamer vibes or do I want to try to do something else? I didn't want to do gamer vibes because although I freaking love video games, I just didn't want to be in the video gaming space with RGB everywhere and all that other stuff. So I was like, I want to be in a space that was a little bit more inspirational, that makes me want to be in it. So I went on Pinterest, which honestly is a W idea. If you can't find ideas for something, go on Pinterest. You will find so much stuff on there. All I did was search for desk setups, and then I started to see these setups that had like black walls, right? Earth tones and greenery everywhere. And I was like, man, that looks so fire. So that's what I tried to emulate with the setup. So the first thing I want to talk about is the centerpiece of the room, which is the freaking desk. I want to show you this real quick before I show you the full desk, because this is where I started. This is a sit and stand desk off of Amazon. And listen, I know sometimes we want to save money and go cheaper, you know, to start out with, but trust me, you will end up spending more money in the long run. This was $150. I kid you not, about the 5th week I had this desk, the motor start acting up. It's all wobbly when when you put your arms down on it, when you type in, it's wobbly. And I would just, caution you, just, save a little bit more money and get something of higher quality, especially that doesn't have a freaking seam running down the middle. So this has been officially demoted to corner junk. Now let me show you the big dog. Now with that being said, I needed another desk, okay? And when FlexiSpot hit me up and was like, yo, we want to send you a desk, and pay you to be a part of your video, I was like, you know what? Go ahead and run it. So full transparency, FlexiSpot did sponsor this video. They did also provide this desk. Now, this is the FlexiSpot E7 PLUS, and I want to show you something. Now, I'm not a small dude, okay? I'm like 5'11", like maybe like 215. Hold on one second. Let me look at this. This desk is lifting me up and lowering me down with no problem, bro. That is crazy. FlexiSpot has super high quality sit stand desk, and I think everybody should have a sit stand desk, especially if you spend hours at a desk. For obvious reasons, when you're sitting there all day, you get, you know, back fatigue and neck fatigue and editing fatigue and headaches and all that stuff. And sometimes you just need to stand up. Now, I don't stand up. Obviously, I have stuff on the wall, but I do like being able to lower the desk and raise the desk to meet my comfort needs anytime I want to. This desk also passes the wobble test. Now, y'all saw my big fat self on the desk. This thing can support 550 pounds static or lift 440 pounds. So technically it could have been two of me on the desk. Anyways, let's commence with the wobble test. One thing I hated about my other desk is whenever I would type, I would get like desk wobbles and stuff like that. Even if I had like a glass of water on the desk or something like that, like when I was typing, you would see the waves in the freaking water from me typing. Well, this desk doesn't wobble at all. And they have a whole lot of different types of desks. So whether you want to go with like a more budget friendly, smaller version, or if you want like one of these big dog industrial type desks that can support all this weight and stuff that you want to put on it, they have a desk for everybody. Also, I'm using the FlexiSpot monitor arm to mount this monitor. I'll tell you all about the monitor in a little bit. And the LEDs that are on the back of the desk are also from FlexiSpot. So I'll put a discount code on the screen for y'all to go grab one of these desks and save some money. Now I want to talk about the Greenery real quick, because I know some of y'all gonna ask, why did you buy out the entire plant section at Home Depot? Well, I didn't, okay? None of these plants are real. These are all, you know, fake plants, and I got them from the store at home. Now, they sell these plants at all the different home improvement stores, but I'm just letting you know, all of this stuff, okay, all of these vines, these floor plants, the plants over here on this shelf, okay, all of these plants together, no exaggeration, were like $350. I could not believe I was spending that much on fake plants, but they look freaking amazing. And the shelves I also got from at home, so I think I might end up staying in this one to kind of match with the walnut colored door over there. But you know, they're just regular shelves that you know, mount to the wall. I tore this wall up, you hear me? The only way that you are not able to see those shelves is because I have greenery and stuff in the way of the holes on the wall. And unfortunately, the shelves are a little off center. But with that being said, I think the greenery looks fire. Oh, and also I'll drop the paint code if y'all want this like satin matte black that I used. It was like 50 bucks a gallon. It only took one coat of paint to completely black the walls out. Obviously I taped it and all the other stuff, but I put the paint code in the description. I got it from Lowe's. Now, one thing a lot of y'all probably know about Tight Shirt Terry Warfield is how much I love video games. If I could just sit by myself all day drinking coffee, playing video games, I would do it all day long if I could, but I can't. Anyways, I used to run a 2-monitor setup. So I used to have an L desk and had an Apple Studio display on one side for my editing with my MacBook Pro. And on the other side, I had my PlayStation 5 and also my PC, which I got from Gerald Undone. So big shout out to Gerald for gifting me his old PC before he got a new one. It's got like a 3090 and all this stuff in it. Like, it's a pretty beefy PC. But anyways, I will run that on the other side. And when I moved it here, I was like, you know what? I just don't have the space for 2 setups. And I also don't want 2 monitors. So like, I was like, I need to figure out a monitor solution that can accommodate my editing, because color accuracy and being able to hook up one cable to also charge my MacBook Pro and deliver the video audio was hugely important to me. And also a monitor, you know, I'm a gaming snob, so I want like the best of the best that will really let my gaming PC shine. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get that new LG, the 240 hertz OLED. And I was so disappointed in that monitor, although it had some fire stuff, like I had the sound coming through the screen. But the one major miss for me is that one did not have USB power delivery. So I was stuck trying to charge my MacBook with the old freaking brick, and I was just over it. So I took it back, and then I was reading online, and everybody was like, you know what, Terry, you should have got the Asus ROG. I gotta read it. ROG Swift PG32 UCDM. And I was like, you know what, let me read up on it and watch some videos. And yeah, this monitor is the truth. So it's 4K 240 hertz OLED, and this monitor has USB-C power delivery. So I can run one cable to my MacBook Pro and it powers it and delivers the video and audio. And it is a highly accurate monitor when it comes to color. And because it's 240 hertz and OLED, it makes my games freaking sing. Now, the one thing I don't like about the monitor is there's no built-in speakers and it's expensive, but at the same time, this is easily, y'all, the best monitor I've ever had. And then next to the monitor, because this monitor does not have built-in speakers, I picked up some Edifier R1280 DBS speakers. And I picked these for a reason. Number one, because they look nice and clean, they're small, but also they push 42 watts of freaking power. They are powered speakers. They do have Bluetooth, number one, built into them, but number two, 2 sets of RCAs on the back and a sub output and coax. So this was super huge for me because obviously I'm running 2 computers and I didn't want to go switching back and forth, you know, unplugging cables and all that stuff every time I wanted to switch audio input. So these speakers honestly came in clutch. Now they do have a walnut version too, but I didn't think that those look good on the setup. But these speakers freaking pound, Joe. And if you want more bass, you could just plug up a subwoofer to them. But I think I paid like $150 for these. Money well spent. And then for my keyboard and mouse, I run 2 different setups. I'm about to replace this keyboard with an Apple keyboard. But right now I'm running the Logitech MX Keys and the MX Master 3. Now, the reason I run 2 different setups is because I love the minimal look when it comes to editing. I love the precision of the MX Master 3. And the batteries on these Logitechs just last all freaking day, and they're Bluetooth, so you can just pair them up with anything. And obviously you can pair them up with multiple computers if you want to. So this is the setup whenever I'm editing and using my MacBook Pro, but when I'm gaming, I switch it. Let me show you. And then for gaming, this is the Keychron K4. I'm not the biggest fan of mechanical keyboards. I know everybody loves the sound, but I find the sound of these keys clicking all the time is annoying, which is, you know, it's cool when I'm using it for video games, but if I had to type all day on this thing, it would drive me nuts. And then a Logitech, I think a L502, G502 gaming mouse. So, you know, these are the 2 setups I switch back and forth between depending on what I'm doing. And you've probably been wondering in this whole video, what is that chair he's sitting on with that crazy design in the back? This, my friends, is the Anthros chair. And this chair is gonna get its own separate video because it deserves it. Let me be honest with y'all. I have had so many freaking gaming chairs, it makes no sense. And they all suffer from 2 major problems. They all look dope, but they don't last, okay? And the second thing is they're uncomfortable to sit in. This is the first chair I've ever owned that I could sit in this chair literally all day and not have any discomfort whatsoever. And that is because this is a pelvic support gaming and desk chair. It's nothing else out there like this. So again, I'm gonna do a whole video on this, but this chair is made by Anthros. And again, links to everything will be in the description. Now, the TV is not anything special. Oh, I got a cord peeking out under the bottom right there. This is an older Samsung MV8000 I've had for like 4 or 5 years. And it's still a great TV. It's still 4K, it's super bright. It's a smart TV, it's still super thin, still looks nice. I don't even watch TV, so I don't really have a reason to go spend money on another TV. Now, I want to shift the camera a little bit to show you this part that I built out. So remember, y'all, this whole wall was like manila and brown. And when I'm sitting at the desk filming this way, which is what I prefer to do, because up till now I've had to film with my back facing the desk from like right here. And it's just hard with the space and all that stuff. I wanted at least something behind me that looked cleaner. So I built out this little shelf right here. Put some fake plants up there. This is just something I added to give me some depth and some stuff on the wall when I'm filming this way. Now, this right here is the Govee light bar. Now, I had LifeX beams before, but honestly, they crapped out, so I wasn't about to buy another set. So the Govee beams, and Govee makes like excellent quality LED stuff. I think this was only like, what, $98, and it came with 8 pieces. I didn't end up using all the pieces, but this was so challenging for me because, again, I'm not good at freaking, you know, DIY and stuff like that. So all of the sections are obviously preset lengths. You can't change them at all. And I got a light switch receptacle right here, which made extending this down impossible because it wouldn't have stuck to the wall because the light switch receptacle is in the way. So I was like, well, that's not going to work. And even if I was able to, I would have to take this power piece right here, put it on this end, and then run it along the floor. But it's not long enough, so that wouldn't work. So I was like, you know what, maybe I'll just go over the door and do like this L-shaped bracket, which I think looks dope. But the problem is I got a door frame right here that's right next to the wall. So hiding those cables was a freaking mess. You know, I know you can buy the channels. Like I have one down there on the floor to run cables through, but the space in between the door frame and the wall is so small, you can't get anything in there. So I was like, well, how can I hide this white cable? As you see, the power box is white. I got to figure that out. But how can I hide this white cable so it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb? Electrical tape, my friends. That's what I use. So I just, you know, put it up against the wall with electrical tape. It's not the most elegant solution, but it sure looks better than that white cord floating around on this black background. Could not stand it. But anyways, this LED bar is fire. You know, you can change the colors on it and set the different color zones and mesh them together. Like, it's just fire. So since we're on the subject of lighting, let's talk about what lights I'm using to light the studio. Now, I did a whole video on these lights. I'll leave it at the end of this video and in the comment section or description or pin comment. One of them two or one of them three. It'll be down there, okay? But anyways, first of all, look how dope the lights look. So this is the B500 and I got the G300 over there. And the reason I love these lights is because honestly, they are so small, but they are so powerful and they're bicolor. So this is 500 watts right here. And that one is 300, but you can put it into like a Super Saiyan mode and it'll do 500 watts too. But they're so small, they're so lightweight, they're bicolor, and you can use the ZV Play app to control them. So I got rid of all of my other studio lights and these are the two that I'm running with. So this is my greenhouse YouTube studio setup, whatever you want to call it. A few things I've learned in this process. A, I hate DIY. I made that no secret at the beginning. My feelings about it have not changed. B, I have no patience for DIY. I would much rather pay somebody to do this, but because I didn't have that luxury, I had to fight through it myself. I learned that I can do anything that I put my mind to when it comes to DIY. Although it's not perfect, I still got to clean up some stuff. And, you know, this might be not your cup of tea. You know, styling is subjective. You might not like all the greenery and how dark the room is, which I don't care. Go build your own desk. This is what I like. But I think it came out pretty good for my first time trying out a project like this. Again, big shout out to FlexiSpot for sponsoring today's video. Whether you want to be like Tight Shirt Terry and get the big dog E7 Plus that's super stable, that can support all the weight, it's a huge workstation, or you want to go with something a little bit smaller that's still premium like the E7 or E7 Pro C line, or if you want to go with the budget line that's still premium but it's on the lower end of the cost spectrum, the E5, they have a desk for everybody. Make sure that you check the link because this is FlexiSpot's anniversary sale, so you can save some money by using the code down there. Let me know what y'all think about the greenhouse setup. I would love to read y'all comments. And before you leave, if you like this video, make sure that you hit subscribe. You turn on the notification bell so you get notified when new videos go up, and stick around after this video to check out my review of the two Z-Unit lights that I talked about just a little bit ago. Anyways, I'm out of here. Tight Shirt Terry Warfield. Peace and chicken grease. I'm out of here. Much love, y'all. Peace.